If there's one thing I've learned from watching all my favorite YouTube stars, it's that if you're gone for 4 or 5 months at a time, just pick up like you never left off. So, what do you get when you take Walter White, and Kickass, and Japan's greatest fear for the last 50 years? Not that one. Not that one either. Oh, okay, yeah, that one. This is Godzilla. What you get when you combine all those elements is a fucking apology letter from 1998, personally signed by Matthew Broderick himself in blood. Now, I know a lot of people didn't receive this movie very well, and there's a lot of reasons for it, and I can understand most of them. Truth be told, it has some pacing issues, but there's no reason to hate the movie. I mean, really, honestly, when you really think about it, the movie itself was awesome. It delivered us and gave us exactly what we've been wanting for the last couple of years. Okay, since 1988. It's short to say that this movie is the best American-made Godzilla movie. That's the the bar's not too high on that one, so let's not celebrate just yet. Anyways, let's get right into it. This movie is Godzilla, in the fact that it is the first one in a long series of yet-to-come films. It sets up everything, and I mean everything that's to come. We get a new couple of monsters straight out the gate, which I really do like, because truth be told, if you do anything with a classic monster or any kind of classic Godzilla villain, you get guys, or not guys necessarily, but people that are purists that have, been around for a long, long, long time and watched all the Godzilla movies and are going to be pointing fingers and trying to nitpick at every single little thing. So the filmmakers did something kind of smart. The same way that, you reboot a famous or popular franchise with an unknown actor. And that was to give Godzilla brand new adversaries. So, of course, the movie starts up with, we got Kick-Ass here. Kick-Ass's dad, scratch that, Walter White. I love the show, I'm sorry. I finally got around to watching it, but that's neither here nor there. You got Walter White in Japan, and he is part of a nuclear reactor team. Horrible shit happens. He loses his wife. Now, Bryan Cranston, I have not forgotten his name, he's a really good actor. He's an incredible actor. Anything you put in front of him, he's going to put a lot of zeal into, a lot of zest, and a lot of feeling. The kind of actor that you hand him a scene or you hand him a script, and he's going to come out on top of it. And it shows here. I mean, even with a fucking movie like Godzilla, a silly premise of a mutated lizard wreaking havoc upon everywhere he goes and everybody involved, it's a good performance. It is a wonderful performance, and I have to give props where props is due. Bryan Cranston, fucking awesome, man. Seriously. God, I gotta stop saying that. I was watching my videos, I say seriously a lot. But anyways, he is an incredible actor. He put on a hell of a performance, not only in just the first part in which we see him, of course, reacting to the nuclear reactor, melting down, losing his wife, being, stuck with his son as a single parent, raising him, so on and so on. So after all that's said and done, we flash forward into the future, and his son has officially become a father as well. He's married and has a wife and kids, and he's in the army, and it's Kick-Ass. Sorry. I don't even know the actor's name, and I feel bad about it. And if you know it, please leave it below. I'll look it up before I put this up and kind of edit it in there and make myself look stupid. I'm good at that. But he, unfortunately, I don't want to say he's the weakest actor in this, because he's not. Truth be told, he played the part rather well. If you know anybody who is, from the military or military based, or, who has years into the military, you know, they have a certain behavior. You know, people behave a certain way in certain professions. He happens to fit a profile of a lot of people that I know. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that, you know, as far as everybody, you know, bashing on him and telling him that he did a horrible job and he's about as, you know, he's a hole in the wall. I don't happen to agree with that. I think for the role he was given, he did good. He didn't do great. You know, he's still got a long way to go to Bryan Cranston, but you know, he did good. So after, of course, Bryan Cranston and his son hook back up or meet back up due to, you know, Bryan Cranston being arrested because he's Bryan Cranston, he deals drugs. They go back to the reactor site, Kickass and Bryan Cranston, and they go and they try to confront the people that are there, trying to still experiment or whatever. Turns out the creature that attacked the nuclear plant all those years ago was not Godzilla. I know, how could we have a Godzilla flick without Godzilla in it? Trust me, we're almost 20 minutes in at this point in time, but you know, it's the suspense because you know it's coming. These guys are fucking shit up. You know Godzilla's not going to stand for that. And anyways, so we lose Bryan Cranston, actually the best actor in the whole movie. We lose him in that scene. I usually don't put spoilers, but this movie's kind of old, and if I have spoiled anything for you, I'm sorry. You should have watched it. We lose Bryan Cranston. Of course, I want to say this is no spoiler because if you've ever seen any review of this movie, everybody and their mother spoils that Bryan Cranston dies. So, there you go. We find out the new monsters are called Mutos. I thought we all decided, thanks to Pacific Rim, that we were going to call them kaijus now. I think the fucking writers from this movie missed that memo or that meeting, but you know what, whatever. We'll keep it going. After these new Mutos introduced, we turns out that, Godzilla is around. He's been around for a while. In fact, X amount of years ago, the military tried to blow him the fuck up because they didn't know what he was, and instead, they just made him more powerful because apparently all the Mutos, they're fucking kaijus, and I'm going to call them kaijus for the rest of this review. All the kaijus in this, universe, existence, this film, they all feed off of nuclear energy and nuclear waste and nuclear things. So it gives them, you know, sustenance and superpowers. And I don't know. Don't eat nuclear waste. Don't do that. But of course, we find out that he only comes around when other kaijus get out of line. He's kind of, according to Ken Watanabe, who's also in this movie, and if I fucked that pronunciation up, just like I fucked up the word pronunciation, sorry. Ken, you're gonna have to call me so I can personally apologize to you. Anyways, he explains that Godzilla only comes around when other Mutos start getting, other fucking kaijus, they're kaijus, start fucking shit up or getting out of line, and he comes around and smacks them back into place. So even at this point, we finally get to see a little bit of Godzilla, and I mean a little bit of Godzilla, but it's still building. I mean, you gotta stick with this film, folks. I mean, it takes a while, but it gets there. After all is said and done, the kaiju starts fucking shit up. Godzilla shows up and starts fucking up the kaiju, and then everything just goes nuts. And I love this part because you know what? It's awesome. It is fucking great. I mean, yeah, it's implied action, and I've said it before that I hate implied action, but I'm kind of grateful they did it this way. And the main hold on. The main reason is so that we don't have to stare at a set that is completely CGI laden. They use little CGI with a lot of sets. The airport scene, set, a little bit of CGI. Okay, well, fuck ton of CGI, but at least There's something there for the actors to interact with. We know what part of the world this is, so on and so on and so on. They're really in a train car when that whole scene happens. They're actually on an analog of the bridge, of the San Francisco Bridge. When that scene happens, believe it or not, look it up. There is a lot of sets used in this movie, and that's what I really loved. Modern modern moviegoers, we're starved for sets. We're starved for, puppets. Fuck it, we'll take it. CGI. I don't want to say it's gone too far, but is far too heavy in our movies nowadays. Anyways, after some implied action and some more implied action, and let me tell you, oh my god, there was one scene in particular. They're loading up people. They're trying to get everybody the fuck out of there. They're in the hospital, and who gives a fuck? We're all waiting to see Godzilla. So Godzilla shows up. The kaiju shows up. They're about to throw down, and it cuts away. Fuck. Okay. This is essentially, monster violence porn. If you cut away from the main fucking action, it's a pointless porno. When in a porno, if they're about to get it on and the director suddenly just cuts to the guy handing her the pizza at the end of it, we kind of missed a thing or two. And that's exactly what happens in this scene, and it pisses me the fuck off. I hate implied violence, and I hate implied violence when it could have been completely avoided. I get when it can't be done, such as, budget and effects and extras and shit like that, but come the fuck on. One fight wouldn't have killed the budget. It wouldn't have. Hell, we lost Bryan Cranston 20 minutes ago. It's not like the fucking budget's gone too. Anyways, you still get to see Godzilla in all his glory. You still get to see him redesigned, and I like it because he no longer looks like a dude in a rubber suit. He looks like a creature. He looks like something that could exist. He has big fucking thick ankles, and builds up from there. And he looks like God only, he looks like a fucking dinosaur, fucked a crocodile, and there he is. Anyways, they're trying to blow up the kaijus. The humans are trying to blow up the kaijus, thinking that nuclear weapons are the answer. They're not. But Kickass ends up getting chased around by the bigger kaiju, which apparently is the female, trying to feed, trying to lay eggs, reasons. I know I said lay eggs, but there's plenty of places to do it. Why do you have to do it in the middle of San Francisco? Just asking. Anyways, so finally we get to the final scenes. The big fight. And I mean the big fight. And I'm not going to go through this blow for blow, because it is a kick-ass fucking fight. It is incredible, and I loved it. It took away the cheesiness of, the Godzilla dude, the guy in the suit, jumping up and down and trying to, bat the other guy and, turning around with the tail. Now, this added, because of CGI and the technology afforded to them, this added a whole new dimension to the fights. And let me tell you, I loved it. I loved it. We need more. And of course, the one thing everybody talks about, the radioactive breath, the fire breath. Does he do it? Fuck yeah, he does. Whew. Let me tell you, it's a sight to see. I mean, everybody in my age demographic that grew up with the Godzilla, from the 80s and, knows that glowing spikes means, death is coming. It's fucking incredible. The whole movie, honestly, well, for me, because, I'm an old school guy like that, the whole movie was worth that fight. It was worth it just to wait for that fight. And the final scenes of the movie also give us what we want. A sequel bait, of course, but it's awesome. So let's break it down, because I've been at this for a little bit and I'm kind of want to I don't want you guys to get bored of me. So let's break it down. Acting. While impressive in some parts, there is a lot of actors that just had a couple of lines, just disappeared. Bryan Cranston, Ken Watanabe, the heavy hitters are the only real ones that really stand out. Because even Kick-Ass, without the signature throw and everything, we don't know who the fuck he is. That look is gone, and it's sad to say, but, that actor without that look is kind of unrecognized. So we have a couple of heavy hitters. They carry the movie for the most part. And of course, the kaijus. So I'm going to say acting is good. Not great, but good. Directing. No implied violence. This needs to stop. Do you hear me, Game of Thrones? Seriously. Fucking stop with the implied violence. I hate that shit. Either show us or don't fucking show us. There is a way to do this tastefully. There are movies that do it tastefully. There are movies that do it wonderfully. Check out Evil Dead, the remake. That does implied violence incredibly well. Directing. It was bad. I'm sorry. When you rely on shaky cam footage and you rely on cutaways and implied violence to try to tell a story, you kind of have an issue. And it goes down the drain from there. Writing. I liked it. I'm gonna say writing takes a different stance from the directing and cinematography and all that, because you know what, the story comes from the writing. So the story was actually pretty good. It actually gives us the enemies. They come into the real world. They come into parts of the United States. That way it's not like the 1998 movie where they tried to cover it up and oh no, there's no monster here. Fuck that. These guys are wrecking Las Vegas. Everybody knows they're fucking there. Anyways, so let's sum up. Godzilla. I say buy it. This is the first in a lot of films that is going to be in the pipeline or on its way, and even if it's not, it's a good movie to just throw on with a bunch of film buffs and just discuss the points and how good or how bad it is, or whatever. Watch Breaking Bad, then watch this movie. I love them both. So yeah, buy it, add it to your collection, get it on Blu-ray, watch it on your rich friend's 4K TV. You'll like it, trust me. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks, and as always, stay tuned.